if you haven't seen 3 reasons why Yusaku must defeat Revolver, check out BYG Aigami's channel. It's linked down below. If you want to see 3 reasons why Revolver must defeat Yusaku, check out down below. It's linked down there. It's on the channel somewhere. But in this video on Dimsy's Domain, we're going to be discussing 3 reasons why Yusaku and Revolver must end in a draw. Now, to discuss this with me today is none other than BYG Aigami. So, would you like to say hello to the masses?
What's up, everybody? And also, I do want to mention, check out the playlist along with that, because I'm basically going to make a playlist with all the videos that me and Dimsy are doing in this 3 Reasons Why series.
Yes, so make sure you check it out, and I promise you're not going to regret it. And make sure you leave him a subscribe, leave him a little subscription, check out his videos. It's just absolutely amazing, the best content in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, in terms of Yugioh Vrains, so make sure you check it out. But let's start off with the first reason why I believe that it must end in a draw, and that is, of course, Yusaku needs information. So as the duel progresses, he can get the info, so the purpose of the duel, which is to gather information, is achieved, and therefore this can then end in a draw. It's very, very simple booking in terms of wrestling terminology. The main process of this duel is just to not only save Aoi Zaizen, but also to get more information, as Revolver is the leader of the Knights of Hanoi. And if Yusaku knows that he's the leader of Knights of Hanoi, I'm sure he has a lot of questions, and I'm sure Revolver has a lot of questions regarding him using Cyber's monsters. So I think that this duel should just be a little opener for them to exchange a lot of words and actually exchange dialogue and information between each other to inform themselves as well as the viewer. So I think that you don't need a clear-cut victor. If you want to save the credibility for each of the duelists, you really can end it in a draw. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. So we know that Yusaku can think on his feet very fast. He's very good at adapting to his surroundings and understanding and comprehending things. I think that with him dueling Revolver, he'll get a better grip on how the Knights of Hanoi work along with how they duel, because if you look at it, they very much have similar monsters. And Revolver also has a Cyverse type deck. We can assume that Revolver at least has 6 or 7 years on Yusaku.
It's a bit weird because when he was, because remember, that's still, in my opinion, is still an avatar, I think. So in terms of his age, it's still a bit iffy. But one thing is, you spoke about how Yusaku needs to learn a lot about the Knights of Hanoi, but shouldn't Revolver also learn a lot from Yusaku, since he will also want to know how the hell does he have Cyverse monsters?
Well, the thing is, I think it's because of Ignis. Since Ignis knows where Cyverse is, he also spawned the Data Storm.
Exactly. So that really does only cause more mystery. But as I said, this duel can just serve as a means to give a lot of answers, but also increase the amount of questions. So you don't need a victor. What is the second reason for why Revolver vs Yusaku must or should end in a draw?
The second reason is Revolver not being able to beat Yusaku and not losing will not only increase Yusaku's credibility, but also set up for a much more anticipated rematch. And I completely agree with that statement, because you look at it, if they both end up in a draw, not only is it going to increase suspense in both their minds, but from the viewer standpoint as well. And I would love that. You
know, Yusaku has faced off against Blue Angel. He's also faced off against Go Onizuka. We know they're going to probably fight again later on. But because of Yusaku having that victory against Go and against Aoi Zaizen, do you honestly think that he's going to be at a disadvantage when they fight again? When they duel again, you're going to be like, okay, Yusaku probably is going to win. But if it ends in a draw, the next time they duel against each other, it might just be like, oh, it could go either way. I know you're a massive sports fan. It's very similar to boxing, right? If it's something like a double knockout, or if it's like something messed up and they're going to have a rematch again, wouldn't it be more interesting? Or maybe mixed martial arts, because you are somewhat of an expert on these topics.
Yeah, so it would be like UFC 205 with Tyrone Woodley and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. The fight ended up in a draw, but they had a rematch, I think, at UFC 208. And the match lacked, but the thing is, the suspense was there. The suspense was there for the whole time. And the match was really boring up until the 5th round.
Yeah, because of the fact that, yes, they duel, but you also know that this is very early on in the series, and if it does end in a draw, you don't see either of them having the upper hand. So when they fight again, when they duel again, you're gonna be, okay, I don't know who's gonna have the advantage. So for that reason alone, I think that is a very, very important reason for why Yusaku and Revolver must end in a draw. But the third and final reason is, of course, in my opinion, that the duel could be interrupted by another major corporate player, and that is none other than SOL Technology. And this can then open up story points and once again create intrigue and further the story without having a decisive winner. Maybe you can have Yusaku about to get beaten. Maybe you can have Revolver about to lose as well. However, if it doesn't end with the life points going down to 0 and it's interrupted, it will always still be regarded as a draw. Now, having SOL Technology interfere in this will make sense because of the fact that Aoi Zaizen's life regarding the antidote for the virus is at stake, and we all know how much Akira Zaizen does care for his sister. So with that, do you reckon that SOL are a feasible interruptor for this duel?
I think so, because the thing is, the duel's taking place in Link Vrains, I would imagine, unless Cyverse has its own dimension or its own system, and possibly with Cyverse being incommencing, like the duel itself, maybe there's like a barrier or something like that sort of blocking off. But I do think that this could possibly happen where Kusanagi and SOL Technology come together to work and penetrate that system that Revolver has on Aoi.
Exactly. Oh yeah, because one thing we know from the duel between Go Onizuka and Yusaku Fujiki, well, Playmaker, was the fact that Go Onizuka initially coerced Yusaku to fight him by aligning himself with SOL Technology, and after Kusanagi really did make a backdoor for him to exit the little trap that was set up, Yusaku still refused to go. So this might be an optimal time for not only Yusaku to retreat, but if the cards are really against him, which I doubt. I don't think Yusaku will retreat. However, there might be a point where Yusaku is actually sucked out through the back door if he does fall into a trap whereby his life is at risk. Because one thing we need to understand is that speed duels are very, very risky in terms of someone's safety, physical safety, as well as their mental safety. So I really do think that there will be an interference, and that could definitely be the reason why it ends up in a no contest. It ends up in a draw. And as I said earlier, by having it end up in a no contest or a draw, when they eventually duel again, it will only increase the intrigue, the suspense, and the anticipation for the duel. Anyway, are there any final words you have for this little topic?
When you talked about mental damage, I instantly thought of the Yusaku versus Knight of Annoy duel. And the thing is, Ignis stated how when you're dueling in the Cyverse, when you're having a duel on the Data Storm, that over time, when your life points decrease, your mental damage builds up. So maybe since Yusaku had back-to-back duels with Go Onizuka and then Aoi Zaizen, or Blue Angel, and then he's having a duel with Revolver, maybe that mental damage does catch up to him, which could possibly make, the duel end up in a draw.
Yeah, because I think that having Aoi Zaizen being out of commission currently and having her off screen for a while really does help the story, and that's what it's all about. Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime series has been vilified for them not having the best story writing, the best writing, but I think that so far with Yugioh Vrains, there's been excellent writing showcased so far. But with that, I do think that there is more justification for the 3 reasons for them to end in a draw. Make sure you check out the 3 reasons why Yusaku must defeat Revolver, as well as the other video, the mirrored video, which is 3 reasons why Revolver must defeat Yusaku. Check out the other videos on our channels. Check out the playlist for the collaborations between myself and BYG Aigami, as well as his videos. He does make the best content regarding Yugioh Vrains, so give him a definite look and subscribe to him. Check out his videos. Yes, like,
share, comment and subscribe. With your do this, you may now exit Dimsy's domain. Check out the Facebook page. Thank you. Goodbye. Take care. Don't die.